Gorgeous afternoon as the Storm just collect their last thoughts, settle their nerves, tidy to take on one of the biggest packs in the competition. Robbie Ross at the back, Watson by, Mule and Martin in the centres, then that wonderful half and 5/8 combination that will really try and lead this game round the park. Hill and Kamali, and a tough pack as well with Rua, Marquette, Kearney. And a front row that really can match it as well in-house, Swain and Robbie Kearns, the new skipper. This game is certainly made for you up the middle.
Well, it certainly is. That's where, you know I harp on it a little bit, but games are won and lost in the forwards. Today, whoever takes control of the forwards will win.
First of many wonders for Robbie Kearns and the Storm. Robbie Ross will wander out with him as the rest finally start to catch up. The defending champs who won it so brilliantly in a vintage performance in 1999, looking to make it back-to-back. A lot rides on the shoulders of that man, Rodney Howe. Andrew Johns was the best player in the NRL last year. He had to have a peek over his shoulder at Chris Anderson's number 7. Brett Kamali, who grabbed an Australian jumper in the Tri-Series, and the man who will really set it all up for the Storm. One of the very best in the business. Terrific afternoon. What a clash it would have been against Jones. It will still be a huge clash against Robbie Mears. Odin Ryan at the back, and this is a spectacular lineup as well. Huge pack of forwards for the Warriors. That's where they will rely. The skipper Simon and Robert Mears. He will play like an 8th man. Hero's reception. Mark Tukey to start from the bench. But a wonderful reception for this lineup. Mears goes from hooker to number 7, and he takes on one of the best in the business. Not a bad situation in many respects. I mentioned they'll play a 7-man pack though. And interchange all important. Tukey, big signing, huge man from the Eels to try and make an impression as well on rotation. Mark Graham and Chris Anderson head to head. And Jason Death goes back to his favoured position at hooker.
I can't find the TV bloke. I don't know where he is. You right?
Man in charge, Sean Hampstead. Talk about all the hype. Talk about huge expectations. Then you're talking about the Warriors in the year 2000. Time to back it all up. Who else to start proceedings than Big Joe?
Yeah, and that's what big front eyes like doing, is getting in early and getting a touch of the ball. Just getting rid of those nerves. A lot of pressure on the boys. They know the expectations of all the crowd this year, but I'm sure they know their job as well.
Early mistake. Big hit on Sia, really crunched by Rodney Howe. He coughs it up and sets it up for the Storm right on the 30.
Yes, great hit there from Rodney Howe. He's got a big important part to play in this game, and he's certainly starting off well.
Storm with tons of intimidation of their own for Robbie Ross to join the line. So a real early test for the Warriors after a mistake. Rua keen to impress in the starting lineup now that Nikau is off to England. Kearns upended strongly right in front of the Warriors posts. Kamali looking for Kearney on the fringe. They need to wrap him up low and high. They do it in big numbers. Inside the 10. Dangerous early moments. Kamali Howe on a run around with Kamali kicking ahead. Odenryan perfectly placed. So they come up. Trumps, they grab the ball. Makes up for the mistake from Siu.
And that's a good start from Lee Odenryan too. He's going to have a lot of confidence back there. He'll be put under enormous pressure with bombs and the big kicking game from Kamali.
Strongly trying to take this one out. Matt Spence fights with them towards the 30. Siu to settle down for some more. And again, this time it's Kearns that goes looking for him. Wide for Logan Swan. Similar style to Kearney, likes to get nice and wide with his height, causes some damage. Simon, his long kicking game could be important if he can keep it away from Ross and Marcus Bai. Numbers are down there on Robbie Ross. Terrific afternoon in Auckland. Bit of breeze, but plenty of humidity. Peter Ropati sideline for this one. They will do a tough early this season, Pete. We'll come back to Peter Ropati as they put it down as well. Right in the early part of the season, you're going to see timing just a little bit astray, hands making mistakes.
Yeah, Matt Brewer there certainly had a look from in the Melbourne Storm. As you see, the defence was coming up on him. As long as the Warriors keep moving up and put a lot of pressure on these players, just got to make sure they don't cross that advantage line. The Storm are strong in the forwards.
Coxon breaking from the scrum. First taste of Storm territory for the Warriors. Mears, as he normally does at hooker, into that dummy half roll, scooting out of there, backed up. And Deeth loses it behind for Simon just to push the pass to Logan Swan. Shadows lengthening. Late afternoon in Auckland. One half of the ground bathed in sunlight as Siu takes it to the 20 for Simon to cut out Joe Vagana. And they stretch it wide. Odell Manuel would have scored. He had a head start to the corner. I don't think the cover could have nailed him. He just put it down. The pass a little bit behind, but he had a free run to the line.
Yeah, great play from the Warriors. The decoy runner just out wide here. Odell Manuel just couldn't connect. He was away.
Only had to pick up about 15 metres. And a let off for the Storm. Simple play out wide, but well worked, except for the last pass. He might have stood a little bit flat himself to put pressure on the inside man as Hill brings it away. Rua.
Yeah, one of the big factors in this game is that the players, because it is their first game, first competition game, are going to really find it hard. They're going to, in the first 10 minutes, it's going to be very hard to breathe. There's hot conditions out there, so there'll be a lot of interchanges, I'd say, early on.
Kick and chase on this time in behind Odell Manuel. And he really takes some stopping. Kearney knows that, and Kearney goes in high. The Warriors complained about something. Crowd on the far side of the ground thought they saw something. Petherbridge up the middle. Little bit of a step as the first penalty comes up for offside play. Now that step was from Matt Spence. His trial form has been excellent, especially a couple of weeks ago against Canberra. I mentioned that Peter Ropati is sidelined. And Pete, we were talking about the humidity on a pretty warm afternoon in Auckland.
It's extremely warm. It's tough enough playing football in normal conditions, but to play under temperatures that we've got this afternoon, it makes it tough. So expect fatigue to come in. Toddy's already mentioned that they're going to get tired. At the moment, the anxiety levels are up there high. You've got people rushing. It'll take a while to settle down into the game and find their timing.
Mears. He was caught flat, Siu. Joe Vagana was used as a decoy by Jason Deeth. Storm know they've got plenty of dummy half runners in this Warriors team to watch for, as well as keep an eye on this man, Simon. Dozen metres away. Mears looking for runners. This time they go to Joe Vagana, wrestled to the ground. Last tackle. Mears trying to just get it to the end. Goal! There's a few dregs there. Mears fumbles and puts it down. Now he's going to check upstairs. Mears had it, lost it. So in the space of a couple of minutes, 2 opportunities gone.
Yes, Mears so low to the ground. These little kick throughs are going to work for him. Just have a look here. He pushes it past now. Does he get the ball down? He's still moving. He hasn't been stopped. Does he place it down here? No, he doesn't.
Had a teammate in the way. Tried to put it down on him.
I can't hear Steve at all. I'll have to get you on to turn me up, Graham. Everyone's really
Lost. Scotty Coxon got in his way. So 2 golden opportunities against the Premiers.
Yeah.
How much is that going to make them pay?
Well, they're looking very sharp, aren't they, the Warriors, with ball in hand. They're defending well and putting a lot of pressure on this Melbourne side. As we have one more look at Robert Mears, his little chip through and clearly missed it. Would have been a great start for the Warriors.
Oh, I don't need to know. You have to look at that one again. Hampstead still waiting. Everybody else has gone back to the 20. Now we've finally got the important man to come back and join us as well. Mears, just with a fumble. Plenty of early nerves for the Warriors. Kearney, happy with the let-off. Beat Joe Vaganar's tackle, but then he was met with a wall of defenders on the inside. Kamali wants to get out of here, chipping into some space in behind Petherbridge. Good chase on that too. Odin Ryan has it though. Well covered up by Petherbridge for him. Nigel Vaganar. Great finish to last season, Mark Tukey, with his first start in the NL for the Warriors out there in 17.
And he'll be a great asset, this big Mark Tukey. You can bring him on for 5 and 10 minutes and take him off. He is a big lump of a guy, but he certainly makes some big yards, and he's going to be a real crowd favourite.
Well, the crowd have picked up where the Parramatta faithful left with that call for Tukey. Mears. Well trapped by Marcus Bai. Great quick hands, what a play! And Rua just put it down. Good pressure from Petherbridge, but if they had controlled it, the Storm were away. Now the chance is up for the Warriors. Can they nail this one? Odin Ryan. 15 away, early tackles. Joe Vaganar decides to wind up. Gets rid of one, stands in the tackle. Pushes it back. Logan Swan will score! It was Big Joe that stood and took them on, pushed it out, mightn't have looked pretty. But you've got to earn it against the defending champs, and Logan Swan gets his year, and the Warriors off to a flyer.
Yeah, Big Joe Vaganar, he's taking a lot of responsibility up there. He knows how important his role is. Nice starting run. He always draws 2 and 3 defenders in with him. Logan Swan saw it. And this is how it'll come from early on. Nigel Vaganar hits it up and then leave it up to Big Joe. And there's nothing better than seeing a big front rower storming towards the line.
Yeah.
He always brings 2 and 3 defenders, and look at the North Melbourne Storm players coming in, always looking for the quick play of the ball. He drops it down for Logan, and he's over.
Logan Swan says thanks very much to Joe Vaganar, and just beat it out to the corner ahead of Robbie Ross. But they missed with some opportunities. This time they do get this one. And one of the biggest signings with his first attempt out wide, Ivan Cleary, doesn't meet it well. But it's the Warriors who break the ice here at Ericsson 4-0. Kamali back with this restart for the Storm, who really have been under a bit of a barrage. Couple of missed chances from the Warriors. And handling mistakes letting down both sides.
Yeah, they had. The Warriors have controlled the game, but I've got to say that the Storm, on that kick return, they're going to spin it out wide. They may just catch the Warriors if they can press their defence too much. They'll have to watch that, but they're travelling very well at the moment, the Warriors.
Odin Ryan. To Mavavi. out there in 16 for the Warriors. And Sean Hampstead over to check this one out. Ryan taking a knock. As Hampstead asked Jason Deese to play it for him. Didn't see too much into it. Just maybe a little bit high from Richard Swain.
Just a wee bit. It's good to see players like wingers and fullbacks like Leo and Ryan coming in and taking a little bit of pressure off the forwards, but they've got to protect themselves, the smaller guys, when they run into a big pack like the Storm pack.
Deeth. Last tackle. Mears tried to do too much from dummy half, put it down. He had John Simon well positioned, and I think the captain will have something to say to Robert Mears. Might be trying just a little too hard in that number 7 jumper as Robbie Kearns comes back and the Storm looking to hit back immediately. Rodney Howe from way back deep. Right on the 20. Kamali with runners on the inside. It's Matt Rua. Plenty of numbers there in defence. A dozen away. Kamali again for Kearney, nice and wide. Stepping, Kearney! Kearney had support, couldn't slip it to Scott Hill. Marquette up the middle, popping the pass. Likewise as they go quick hands for Rua. One man left over, couldn't get it to them as they swarmed in defence, the Warriors. Last tackle, Kamali to the in goal. Came off a Warrior player. That's okay for Mears to pick it up.
Yeah, good work there from Robert Mears, just scurrying around in behind the ruck. The ball came his way, so he cleaned it up. Good defence too.
Peter, it was probably a noticeable thing from the end of last year. The Warriors' difference in their defence, the way they finished off the year as well. We'll come back to Peter again. We seem to have trouble with him. Simon. Kicking away from Robbie Ross.
That's a good set from the Auckland side. You know, they're not getting too carried away. They just hit it out, get a good kick in. They're not getting overawed. They're not getting too excited early on. They're playing with a lot of composure out there, and it's great to see.
Bench coming in for both sides now. Wayne Evans in 15. Kearney strongly over the advantage line. Finished off over the top by Tukey. Had to make a lot of tackles, the Storm. Inside for Marquette. And over the top, Matt Spence, who will be called over by Hampstead. And warned about a high shot.
I know he was falling, but you hit him high. Got to keep him down. I know he was falling.
Between the two that they've done earlier, Sean.
That was too high.
Just a warning it is.
Yeah, you've got to be careful early on because the referees will make their mark. That was high. Just have to keep them down just a little bit. I love it when players come in there to have their little 2 bulbs worth. trying to sway that ref the other way.
All the way from Western Suburbs from 1999. Huge opportunity here for him with the Warriors at Ericsson. And we just wait for the kicking tee for Brad Watts to try and get the Storm on the board. Second game up in the NRL and a lot of pressure on him.
Yep, you comfortable up there? I bet you are.
Good share of possession for the Warriors. They missed a couple of chances, but they did nail one. So the Storm certainly looking for possession to break back their way. Some problems for them.
This is also a very good time for some of those big forwards to start sucking it in. I know what it's like. You can see the players on the bench here, the sweat coming off them. I know it's like these first up games are very, very tough on the players. The heat affects them. They're just not match conditioned. Any little bit of time that they can save and get an extra couple of breaths in, they're very thankful for it.
Robbie Ross was the man down getting attention as Brad Watt goes back again to try his luck third time round. About 6 minutes away. And yes, that is for victory. 6 minutes away from a drinks break in this round 1 of the NRL. Watts, after all of that,
It's a goal, it's a goal.
he says 3 times proves it. So they get on deck, the defending champs. And the Warriors at Ericsson Stadium, though, with their noses just in front at 4-2. John Simon, probably mixed in his feelings about this start from the Warriors.
Right, fellas, stay on the key while he
Humid
kicks it.
conditions late here in Auckland, but they've enjoyed the greater share of possession.
Well, they've had a lot of ball, haven't they, the Warriors side? And I think that may just take a little bit out of the Melbourne Storm side, because when you're tackling in this sort of heat, it certainly burns up a lot of petrol.
Stay behind him, fellas.
5 metres out to be handed off here to the skipper, Robbie Kearns. Try and straighten, but he's still caught inside the 20. They hung that one up for quite a while. Wayne Evans strongly trying to get it away from this danger zone. Swain down the short side, monstered over the top by Joe Vagana. Kamali trying to catch out Odin Ryan, and he sends him back to his own in goal. And a good chase for the Storm. Side with so much pressure, no one to go up a cog.
Yeah, they certainly do. That was a great chase, a lot of communication. Everybody knew the kick was on. This is the hard part now, is getting back there in this heat and working it out. The Warriors forwards have to really dig in.
Siu back from the bench. A good surge from him. Muddy Beetham. Good quick play of the ball and quickly out of there. That's what Deeth likes. Just relishes that opportunity if the defence haven't got back in time. And Simon to kick and chase to the in goal. They turn Watts around and they want this one to stay in there, will it? Watts plays at it. Here's danger. And they're throwing back inside. Great play. Outstanding kick and chase.
Well, the crowd certainly appreciated that. That's a big effort from the Warriors players. Great kick from John Simon. They all knew the chase was on and they all put that extra effort in. Here it is, the kick just stayed up nicely in the end goal. 3 Warriors players down there. There was no way he was getting out.
And that can often be the point of difference, gentlemen, between a good side and the team that maybe tried hard, is being able to force that second back-to-back set of 6. Melbourne Storm really have to address that whole security issue where they need the football in hand and not spending so much time on hands and knees tackling.
They've been made to work hard. Robbie Kearns' anxious look tells you about a tough set of 6 coming up. Siu to wind himself up. Head down, fumbles it as he did at the start of the game, so they'll go off the boil and they'll let the Storm off the hook.
Well, I'm sure Mark Graham's not too happy about that. 2 drop balls. I mean, as a front row, you're usually allowed 1. 2, you're verging on being dragged off. So he'd want to really concentrate on that ball security.
Kearney
He's on 2, let him go now, let him go.
relishes the fact that he's not down inside his own 20, trying to hang on in defence. Kearns spun in the tackle by Vagana.
Auckland hole.
Fights with him to get to his feet. Swain, short side. And Marcus Bai was in about row A when he took the pass.
Well, they're certainly using the short side, the Storm. Just to see if the defence in the Warriors doesn't come up.
Short side. That is a fair term on this one.
Yeah, you're dead right.
I know they call it a game of inches, but that's fairly ridiculous.
Flirting with danger.
So 20-minute mark. They'll take a drinks break. 4-2 the Warriors. Well earned. But they've got to be anxious here. about the fact that they've let two tremendous try-scoring chances go by.
Yeah, they have, and that's just from drop balls. They have to really concentrate on their ball security. Robert Mears there, if you look at his tackles, 9 tackles, 2 hit-ups, not bad for a halfback. Meters gained 13. The Warriors are in control of the game, but Melbourne Storm still look very dangerous. They're using that short side. When they spin it out wide, they look good.
At the top of the show, gentlemen, we spoke about the expectation of the public on this football side, and talking to Hugh McGann recently, he is certainly feeling the pressure. When Pentovich just missed out on scoring that opportunity right in the opening minutes, he nearly fell over backwards. An important game for this football club.
Back on deck, the Warriors, with some possession. Just think with all of that ball that they've had, that they've got to make it show on the scoreboard by half-time, need another try at least and make that converted. Because you know the Storm will hit the line strongly in a close one at the end of the game. Just think back to last September in the biggest game of all, just outside the 20. Simon. Siu. One more tackle for Simon to try to work into that in goal. Chips up high. Odin Ryan couldn't get there in time, just for Watts.
Wow, what a fantastic take. Lee Odin Ryan was skirting out wide. He was ready to take it, but Melbourne Storm were up to it.
They've picked him out. That side in the sun, bit of a problem for him. They keep on working to it. Marcus Bai going infield looking for it. Hasn't seen much of it. And at the right end of the field, neither of the Storm. Kamali trying to drive this one low, getting a bit of assistance with the breeze at their back. And in touch as well. So a 40-20 from Kamali. Outstanding kick. Now they'll get a touch. Now they'll get a smell of it.
Yeah, he's certainly a key player, and that was a fantastic kick. The kicking game from the Storm has been very, very good today, spot on. They've turned the Warriors players both times, have had to turn around. That's a great kick.
We're fortunate, Toddy, at the moment the breeze down here on the pitch is about 10 to 12 knots, favouring the Storm, so it's certainly assisting the kicking game, getting them up the right end of the football park. But we talk about the Auckland side with all the possession. The one thing that was noticeable against the Canberra match was just a lack of options around the acting half, being able to break it up, and that's when they missed the likes of Stacey Jones.
Kamali, now they go on the boil. Hill. Just outside, couple of metres only. Still plenty of tackles for them. Kearns takes them on by himself. Turn tried to free his arms up. Evans. Just one out at the moment as they rush up the Warriors. They've got to try and get Hill and Kamali together. Now they do. But even the best can become unstuck. They cough it up. Some of their handling hasn't been good. Bad pass from Hill down around the bootlaces.
Yeah, that was a shocking pass to Kamali. The Warriors were certainly in a little bit of trouble if Kamali had it connected there, so it's a real let-off, but the defence has still been strong. They're moving up quick.
Simon to bring it away. And he coughs it up.
Yes, the heat's starting to affect both teams. A little bit of sweat coming off the jumpers, and so, you know, ball security in this last 15 minutes is just going to have to be spot on. The team that can really complete their sets of 6 will run away with it. John Simon there just, well, losing control.
Going to see a lot of it in the early season. A lot of handling mistakes. Big offensive gains by the Warriors, but they have enjoyed the better of the ball. And they finally come up with a break. And do they throw away another one? They do. Aaron Newell made the bust. And they let one slip. Heavy defence on Manuel.
Well, the Warriors have been let off a couple of times now. The defence just a little bit going wanting. They can't pull off missed tackles. Lee Odin Ryan was the culprit that time, but they'll be made to pay if they don't connect.
It was only on the first tackle. They got in behind them. Bad attempt from Odin Ryan, but a great save. Right on the line, and he threw it away. Petherbridge tries it on the last tackle for himself. Brilliant! Odin Ryan! He's got the taught inside and out. Tuamavave, what a try! Not a bad idea. Last tackle and all, and something brilliant from Petherbridge, Odin Ryan, Tuamavave. They can all take a bow here on a gamble that came up trumps.
Yeah, Scotty, he certainly took a gamble. Right time to do it. And look at the Warriors players. Lee Odenryan, while they were sweeping down on him, he's very, very tough. But big Tuamavave comes on and scores a rippler.
We saw some great skills last night with Anthony Mundine up against the Cronulla Sharks. What he can do, Auckland can do just as good. Some great ball skills here, great handling, great try by Tuamavave. But what a way to respond. Storm down the other end, scoring opportunity, begging.
Cleary gets the goal. And a valuable 2 to send it out to 10-2.
10-2.
Tony Tuamavave, a real warrior, off the bench for a try.
Well, he kicks it.
Kamali with a restart. Now there's problems for the Storm. Manuel, only an inch away from that sideline.
Someone letting go. Here we are, Melbourne. Here we are, Melbourne.
Still plenty of time before the break. Tukey.
Front two, letting go.
So important to not let them back in. Spence. Similar looking player to Logan Swan. Tuamavave. Back they come again to hit this side. Deeth stepping and into a whole heap of trouble. Great defence from Bowden. Simon. They find him nice and clean, and he finds some open spaces, and they just keep on terrorising that wing of Watts.
Yes, well, the sun's shining straight down in Watts' eyes, and John Simon's having a tremendous kicking game out there. The winger was up, he saw the spot, and he placed it nicely.
I think he's also been smart in his kicking game, Toddy, being able to put it into touch, give them an opportunity to regather. They're in control of the game. Get the right end of the football park, slow it down, consolidate, and get ready for the next passage of play.
They're all happy to slow it down, I think. Taking in nice, deep breaths. Step on the inside to get away from Nigel Wagner. And Rodney Howe nearly overrunning that one. Now for Danny Williams. Quickly, they rush up towards the 50. Kamali looks for runners on the inside, finding Russell Bowden. Plenty of possession for the Warriors. That adds up to a whole lot in humid conditions. Odin Ryan trapped inside his own 20.
Yeah, placed himself very well then, Lee Odin Ryan. He knew the kick was on. The wingers were up and he scooped it up nicely. He's playing a sound game at the back. He's doing a lot of talking as well.
Tuamavave over the advantage line as this Ericsson crowd starts to ride the referee, Sean Hampstead, about the 10 metres. Spence strongly and confidently to back him up. Simon once more. And another long, long chase across for Ross and Watts. Towards the sideline. They look at each other and nearly get in trouble. I think he thought Ross had it. Ross said, "You've got it."
Yeah, it's a bad situation to be in when you think the other player's going to take it. No communication. Sometimes you can be made to pay. The Warriors players are up there, certainly using that in the game plan, kicking it out to the sun. John Simon's doing a great job with that.
Rodney Howe. This is where he and the likes of Kearns and Kearney, Bowden, all of them are going to be required in the next 4 or 5 minutes. Ball looked to be forward.
Well, I've got to agree with the crowd on that one.
Kamali put down just as he gets the kick in. And it'll be a Warriors feed.
I'd never clue where they're past, Graham.
Yeah, just outside. Well, that was marginal. I suppose you've got to go with the play.
I just about take it back. Kamali did keep travelling forward, and the pass, of course, is in relation to the man who did unload.
Yep. As long as he keeps going forward.
Just keep yourself straight, Auckland. This time, Melbourne, Auckland's got the feed.
Mears with the feed.
Stand in, Melbourne.
And Coxon taking this one from the back of the pack. Any more points would be just an absolute bonus for the Warriors. Peter, you've got to think about a fairly strong breeze that's getting up a little at the backs of the Storm.
Well, it's assisted their kicking game so far, and certainly the one thing that Auckland will be looking for the second half is to be able to put a little bit more further. We see Penterbridge again making good yards.
Nigel Wagner to the outside. It was with that overlap now for Logan Swan. Penterbridge enjoying a good start out for the Warriors. Simon short side once more. Simon for Odin Ryan to climb into the attack. He puts it down. Hands still a problem. Robbie Ross.
Hands off now, hands off.
Yeah, well, the players are certainly must be feeling it now, so you know they're going to have to really concentrate on ball security, because when you're tired and you're hitting the ball up, it's quite easy to knock the ball out. So we see Lee Odenryan there just not protecting the ball.
So those handling mistakes square up at 5. And some strong defence here from the Warriors. Rodney Howe. Siu trying to get back some of his own from early in the game. And Hampstead not happy with the second grab at it. And the Storm will go way downfield with this one.
Yeah, that looked a pretty tough penalty to me. The hit was made. I don't think there was too much lying on the ground. Let's have a look at that. Siu goes in there now. He's taken down. Oh, he goes in for the second time. Fair enough. Bad call, Toddy. Wake up to yourself.
Swain for Evans. You will get into trouble backing front rowers all season, won't you? Inside the 30. Bowden strongly inside the 20. Hands and knees will finish up just outside the 10. Kamali screaming for it. Edwards runners. Inside Williams, inside as well. Rua, great defence. Jason Deeth. Kamali again just as quickly spinning to Scott Hill. Hasn't had a comfortable start so far. And the Warriors to bring it away.
Well, that's happened 2 or 3 times now with the Melbourne Storm. Hot on attack, and they've lost the ball. I'm sure Chris Anderson will be making the point at half-time that you've got to hold on to that ball. You've got to complete your sets of 6, especially when you're close to the line.
Magnificent head on from Jason Deeth against a big man. Odin Ryan just away from his own 30 as Coxon leaves the field and replaced by Monty Beetham. They slow the play of the ball down. Mears was wanting to get up quickly. Simon inside his own 40. Won't get the roll down towards the 20, but they'll settle for it just outside.
You know, the good thing about John Simon's kicking game, it's obviously in the game plan. Mark has told him to do it, and he's sticking to his guns. Sometimes on the 4th, sometimes on the 5th, sometimes 3rd. John Simon will stick to the game plan of whatever his coach says.
He's got the upset in his pocket. He's the man with a long kicking game and a big breeze at his back in the second half. If it's a good kicking game, it'll probably ride him home.
Certainly will.
Just keep yourself straight, Melbourne.
20 metres up the middle. Being gained by the Warriors.
Go on, Ronnie. Go.
A good kicking game from Simon has certainly added to that as well.
Someone, hands off now, hands off.
They can't ease up. Rua. Pretty tired, the Storm pack. Number of times they're just putting pressure on their man at dummy half with that play the ball. Nearly running over that advantage line. Hints of forward passes. Not a problem from Rodney Howe on this occasion as he pushes it back for Ross. And for Kamali, goes back the other way, looks for Rua. He's got nowhere to go. He goes back to Kearney. And Kearney tries to get something started, breaks the tackle of Joe Wagner. They grab him and say, welcome back home.
Well, if Mark Graham wanted his players to defend well and put in some punishing hits, they're certainly trying their best out there, the Warriors. Defence has been very strong. They're up in the face of the Melbourne Storm.
Swain just grabbed by Mears, goes back to Hill. Hill trying to create some time. Was that played at by the Warriors? It wasn't, or was that one? The Warriors have got it. Some tired play from the Storm. Can they grab a try here that would be so important? Simon. He must certainly smell a chance. They've put pressure on themselves, the Premiers. Kearney to slow play down as Beetham goes on a short side. Deeth at half as they switch with Mears. Now they get the penalty. There was a chance it might have come from the previous one. And the question is up for Simon to look for goal with Cleary. Simon will say no. They'll get greedy down towards the last 6 minutes. Big decision, all important. The Storm to dig pretty deep. Spence has been impressive in the back row. Takes it right towards the midfield to set it up either side. And they stay with Simon, and he stays with Cleary. 10 away. Mears. Siu. Tries to duck a tackle from Rodney Howe. He finishes up right near the posts. Deeth, dummies now. Joe Bugger on the inside. Big Joe tries to get his arms free. They hang on, the Storm. From dummy half, they try to pinch it. Tackles running out down to the last for Simon. Simon shows it cleverly. Great defence. What a tackle from Marcus Bai. Brilliant coming off his line.
Yeah, that was fantastic stuff from Marcus Bai there. There was a player outside. Pagana, the pass was on, but Marcus Bai came off his wing. Just have a look at it. A try was there. Bang! Marcus Bai stops it.
Manuel was outside unmarked. Cleary didn't have enough time to grab it, set himself and offload. Rodney Howe gets out over the 50. Danger time. Real danger time now, Peter, as they cough it up down that end for the Storm to come back inside the last 5.
And the question you've got to ask is 8-point lead enough against a Storm side that has squandered so many opportunities? We know what they can do in the second half.
Kamali. Their timing is out at the moment, but under pressure as well. Robbie Ross on the inside of Kearns, who's back out there. Good quick play the ball for Swain. They know they've got the opportunity now. They're putting a bit more pace into their work. Tukey waiting to get back on as Kearney takes it at first receiver. Steps away from Deeth, but taken on the inside by Spence and also Logan Swan. Kamali hasn't worked well yet. And it still hasn't worked for he or Scotty Hill down inside the 10, which is the domain that is normally theirs.
Yeah, it certainly is there. Kamali usually comes into his own down there. Their timing's out. They're doing it real tough. They just can't seem to cross that line. 2 or 3 times they should have scored. There we see little Kamali controlling everything and just can't connect.
He went to Tony Martin, who was under pressure from Ivan Cleary. Awkward ball up high for him. Simon for Logan Swan. Getting away and unloading for Petherbridge, who's had a very confident start out on that left wing.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I like the look of Petherbridge. He's certainly looking for players to back him up.
Tukey ducking. Now the ball was stolen with 2 in the tackle. Has to be a penalty. Kearney was the culprit. He couldn't put Tukey down. He knew he had to play at the ball. Tukey was starting to look for support.
Yeah, just imagine having this guy and Big Joe Pagana. They're man mountains. They take 2 or 3 defenders with them.
Don't start getting silly, Stephen.
Inside the 20 for something that might put the cat amongst the pigeons in round 1. Any points here will really put it to the Storm. They've had so much ball, they should have more points on deck. Joe Bugger! Back on the inside for Cliff Beverley. Did well to take it in all that traffic. Long, slow play the ball. Mears, dummies once. And will be taken by Rodney Howe. Shattered him right across. Simon rushes over. Simon, short ball to Mavavi. Last tackle, terrific defence near their own line a number of times in this first 40. Simon to bomb away, go out wide. Watts is there, and the Warriors can't control it. Got to hand it to the Storm yet again.
Yeah, certainly under lots of pressure and the heat's on them and the times against them, the try lines there. It's amazing when that try line's behind you how much harder you defend. Not a great kick from Simon, though.
Still got to keep their mind on it. 16 completed sets by the Warriors. Just the 11 by Melbourne. 2 minutes 20 is still a long time before the break. They'll get another opportunity at it, but not if Kamali can have anything to do about it. Looking for a 40-20, won't get that. But there's a terrific chase against Beverly, who may not get back. Byers there, Martin is there. They've got pace on him, and he won't get out of there. The Storm with an ideal chance. What a play from Kamali.
Yeah, great communication there with his outside backs, and they certainly put some pressure on the Warriors now. Fantastic chase from the Storm boys.
Six missed tackles against the Storm. All the line breaks, though, coming up for the Warriors. 90 seconds, though, to play with the ball. Thereabouts for the Storm after that great chase from By. An 8-point buffer, 10-2 to the Warriors at the moment. Can they defend it? The most important set of 6 for them now in defence of this lead, to keep all the problems at half-time for the Melbourne Storm. Kearns. Swain running cleanly down that short side, and they go inside the 20 for Kamali to take over. Takes it to the line, looks for Kearney. Nice and wide, flicks it back to Kamali. Chance here for Rua to get away from Wagner. Men left over. Nigel Wagner had to rush up. They play at it, there'll be 6 more. Knocked down, who's got it? Ball has gone every way, and it'll still come back maybe for a Melbourne scrum feed. So they'll have about 20 seconds now. He stops the clock.
Yes, the defence from the Warriors there, very strong. They're getting in the faces of Melbourne Storm. Melbourne Storm really throwing everything at the Warriors. They know just how important it is to score before the break. As we see the knock on there from the Auckland side.
Johnny, just settle him down, mate. There's no need for that. Honestly, he's not, right? I know.
A real mess in there, but Hampstead has sorted it all out. Good rushing defence out wide from Nigel Wagner. Kamali will try and operate with Tasisi Lavia. Young man out there, not Scotty Hill. This is the ideal opportunity for Hill and Kamali, but it'll be Kamali and the young man to put their stamp on it. Is there time? They put it down. That'll be it. So it's going to protect a terrific first 40. Crowd of around 21,000 here at Ericsson on this very humid afternoon as both sides work for it. But it is the Warriors that have worked best of all. Missed a couple of big opportunities, let those go, but not a couple of others. The Warriors at the break on line for a big first round upset, 10-2. John Simon knows as we restart things that he has a breeze at his back. It has died just a little, but still enough for him if his kicking game is on song to maybe dictate the terms. The Storm with a real test of character right from the first touch. Watts has been terrorised today, did well to go back and bring it out.
Yes, a few nerves in the second half there. I'm sure they got a dressing down the Melbourne Storm side from their coach, Chris Anderson. You can see that they're really anxious. They've got to play the catch-up football. They're the ones who have to score the tries. The Warriors just have to stick to that game plan that Mark said. Be calm, cool, collected, and win the game.
Kearns to head it out over the 30. Kamali to Hill. Just a little bit rusty, the dynamic duo in that first 40. But they can turn it all around so quickly. Beverly has to go right back deep. Real war of attrition in the first 40, and interesting to get this halftime wrap amongst the dressing rooms from Peter Ropati.
Well, the main thing with Mark is he's pleased that they're winning the battle on the ground. Defensively, they're solid. With the ball in hand, he's not too disappointed there. The main thing is just target Kamali. Forget about his runners, just take him out of the game. With regards to the Storm, well, you don't need the stats to tell you a hell of a lot there. It's just about securing possession, playing for good field position.
Simon tried to weight this. He didn't quite meet it off the side of the boot. Marcus by cleverly back out to Tony Martin to try and scoot down the sideline. Does well to stay away from the chalk. Good tackle from Coxon. Hill looking for a big second half. Swain. They just need to control the ball. They had plenty of opportunities, just didn't finish their sets off. Good short play from Rodney Howe for Brad Watts. Kamali taking it straight to the line. A decoy now for Marquette, but Petherbridge steals it. Petherbridge puts the foot down. Watts comes across in a fine save. Now, nobody at dummy half, and he's lost it. Just coughed it up in the tackles, and what an important tackle it was from Watts. Petherbridge goes over screaming at Hampstead to argue the point.
Yes, Watts came across there. Petherbridge was away. He's pretty fast. He's got plenty of toe, but he was pulled down. Played for North Sydney last year. He's a fine player. There he goes in full flight. The ball's in the wrong hand, though, really, as he's coming towards us. That's where he lost it.
He'll learn not to argue with about 9 or 10 cameras around the ground. Martin. Marcus by. Magnificent broken field runner. Kearney trying to show the way in this second 40 for his teammates. Still plenty of metres being gained by the Warriors. Matt Rua just throws himself into the line. Now Aaron Mule. Magnificent defence that finally cuts the line. So pressure even down deep in their own territory still from the Warriors.
Yes, intimidating stuff there from the Warriors side. They're really putting some power into their tackles. One thing about Brett Kamali is when he passes the ball, the Warriors defender is taking him out of the play. That means he can't get up and back up, which is good. Well, he's renowned for doing so. Must be part of the game plan. Take Petherbridge out, take Kamali out.
Just still looking for Robbie Ross. There must be injury concerns. We'll do a check on Robbie Ross. Not out there for the Storm. Nigel Vagana. Simon wonders how late he'll wait in the tackle count before he uses the kick in this second 40. Spence pushes it up. Jason Deese there tries to hurdle the tackle of Rua. Now Beverly quickly out of there. Good metres out towards the 50. Simon rushes up. Looks for a runner. Finds Joe Vagana. Good tackle on him. Fine tackle made by Aaron Mule. Simon. Now for Tukey. Just had to wait a little for it. Good ball. Excellent ball out. Men left over here. Back on the inside for Odell Manuel. And a fine tackle in cover from Kearney as they rush at them. Now the last. Mears to go way out wide for Nigel Vagana. Logan Swan. Watts. Magnificent take under pressure. They've put it to him all day long. But some big plays from him since the break.
Yeah, great take under pressure there. There was 2 and 3 Warriors players coming down on him, and Watts took it nicely.
Rodney Howe.
Hands off now, hands off.
Kearney. Kearney. Over the 50. Robbie Kearns. Last tackle now for Melbourne. Kamali chipping to the end goal. Beautifully weighted. Beverly right on his own line.
Someone.
10 metres away. Now for Nigel Vagana. And Sean Hampstead sending somebody to the blood bin.
Guys, just an update on injuries. Lee Odenryan suspected broken nose. We probably won't see him back. And Robbie Ross, hamstring problems.
Not a big day out for the fullbacks. As Cleary is the man, in fact, who goes to the sideline for the blood bin. And David Miles out there in 18. Joe Voginer.
Lee Odenryan will be missed because he's got tremendous pace when he's bringing the ball back from a kick.
Simon spinning, turning, nearly getting away. Now taken up by Beverley, just fighting for those metres towards the 50 to set up for the kick either side. Simon under some pressure, has to hurry. Charge down. Who will this set up for? Coming back for Petherbridge, and they'll get 6 more. Didn't set themselves right, and they haven't got that kicking game on song yet.
You can just feel that the Melbourne Storm side, they've really lifted the intensity. They know how important this first 10 minutes is. They're going in with big tackles and looking very dangerous with the ball.
Strong surge from Monty Beetham, and quickly up for Jason Deeth to pick up some territory. Gets away from Kamali and fights with them all the way down, 35 away from the Melbourne line. Mears left alone for a long time before put down by Hill. Last tackle once again. Simon's going to bomb away right near the posts. Watts plays at it easily in the end. No real pressure deep in goal. So just not finishing off impressively at the end of their sets of 6. And Melbourne will get the chance to start to climb a little.
Yeah, a little bit of lack of communication out there. John Simon wasn't in the right position for a good kick. He got given the ball, but they're going to have to defend now, the Auckland side.
Back it comes for Kamali and Hill with a dummy and away. Back on the inside, Marquette. The ball, I think, was stolen by Tuamavavi. Looked to be stripped. Petherbridge. Just get the feeling the Warriors need to spark up a little. Now the penalty comes.
Yeah, they've lost a wee bit of intensity there. Look at handling errors, 12-6, but they have lost a little bit of that edge, the Warriors side. Maybe just a little bit tired. They need to spark up. They need a big play from someone.
I think the biggest problem is they're starting to allow themselves to become frustrated, particularly in the ruck area where the Storm are tending to lie a little bit over them.
Down they go to the Storm 30. Logan Swan straight at them on a short side and bust them too. Good quick turnaround. Tuamavavi nearly overran it in the play the ball. And he goes inside the 10. Simon with a big back line to the right. Mears now out for Coxon. Monty Beetham just a little bit one out, the Warriors, not really supporting each other. Pushed out towards the sideline. He tries to get up and play it. And Hampstead said that he tried to milk it. They have been slowing it down in the play of the ball, but he said this time they stretched his imagination.
Well, you have got the right to try and get up for the quick play of the ball. Let's just see if the Melbourne players are pulling them down. No, that's a fair call from the ref.
Now Melbourne will get another one. Down on the 50.
Monty Beetham will have to be a little careful. He's getting a little bit carried away, trying to make up for his error.
Well, they can only get the worst wake-up call, Toddy, and that is a try from the Storm. Just get the feeling they really do need still to be the next scorers, the Warriors. Toughest job of all to get home against these guys, the Premiers. But they do put down another one. They continue to have trouble with their hands, and they continue to struggle with Petherbridge, who's been determined right throughout. Logan Swan. Both sides, I think, could argue that the 10 metres has not been a big one since half-time. Put pressure on the play the ball area and the first receivers. as they just infringe a couple of metres in front of him again on that shot.
Hands off now, hands off.
Now they'll get one. Taliti Leovar out there in 21. So plenty of interference from both sides as they try and slow down this ball game around that play of the ball.
Yeah, the Melbourne Storm are trying to slow the play of the ball down because they know the Warriors are looking for those quick play of the ball so they can get a roll on. And they're lying over just a bit too long.
Hand in there from Richard Swain. Time to grab something. Leovar again.
Hands off now, hands off.
Simon taking over at halfback. Directing traffic, this time on the inside for Beetham. He switches to the other side. Deeth stays with him. He shapes to unload. Nearly got him behind the line. Good defence from Rua and Marquette. Good quick play of the ball. Deeth! Jason Deeth will stroll over! Well, that's his hometown up there. It's called Death Row. And one wonders if that's where the Storm now find themselves.
Wow. They just might, in fact. Little Jason Deeth, they were all watching John Simon. He was hanging around in the background. Jason did the little dummy straight over for a nice try. Nice big gap for him.
It just opened up. He backed himself, got up smiling. And back-to-back they go, laying trays on, make it number 3. Some tired defence. They've had to come up with a lot at their own end. They find the spark to go on with it since the break. A star for them in the year 1999. And a big star in round 1 already. The best there was for the Warriors last season. And a real favourite here in Auckland. Petherbridge to take over the duties from Ivan Cleary, still in that blood bin. And Petherbridge meets it awfully, so tries are important in all of this. Would have been a valuable another 2, but they're all happy there. As they get it out to 14-2, time to scream. Deeth, the try scorer, that has the Premiers on the rack, still with a mile of time. Important, after you find a try, to make sure the next couple of sets of 6 are nice and steady.
That's right, you've got to make sure you don't get too carried away. Just hit that ball up, get a nice kick and chase in, and just force Melbourne back down. Use up as much time as possible. We asked them for something from the Warriors, and they certainly gave us something.
Times it hasn't been pretty, but it has been a real war of attrition between both sides. Great defence, outstanding from Tuamavavi on Watts. And they'll put pressure on Matt Geyer, who's out there now. One of their heroes from last season. Crunch from Tuamavavi, one of the hardest in the business from the Warriors camp. Crowd roaring for them now to make up those big hits all the time, trying to make sure they lift them over the next few minutes. Good quick play of the ball for Swain to scoot away. Last tackle. Kamali. His kicking game has been excellent. Beverly traps it, in trouble. He just manages to stay in the field of play. Nigel Wagner, big hit on Rodney Howe. They've got to remember that they know how to finish their games off, Melbourne. And there's a mile of time still to play.
Yeah, they certainly do. They're renowned for finishing very strong. 12 points is nothing to a class side like this.
Tukey tried to get him over the advantage line, and Simon has to put the kick in. His kicking game has not been good in the second half, not setting himself right. And it's Watts who's already back on the 50, but he's going to wake up a little bit blue tomorrow morning.
What a tackle from Jason Deeth there. Fantastic stuff.
Geyer. They just haven't got comfortable, the Storm, but they've got so many bullets to fire, like this man, Marcus Bai. They won't need a lot of time if they can just get together and get their act right. Great from Jason Deeth. Kamali now trying to send Levere on his way.
The one thing about the Warriors defence is when they move up, they're staying in a line, so there's no gaps. They're not going up from ones and twos, and that's great stuff.
Kearney. They've scored 3 tries to nothing with 24 minutes remaining, but their defence has been as good as anything. Hill tries his hand with the kicking game down to Odell Manuel, who gets rid of Martin, winds up, takes on Marcus Boyd, bounces out of his tackle, and then carts him up to the 20. Crowd love it. Now the step from Beverly. He looked for Manuel. He just couldn't get it to him in time. He was unmarked.
And as a player, when you're out there and the crowd start getting behind you, you can feel it, the players, and they start to lift themselves. That's what they need, is that encouragement. They love it.
Man's called to play the ball. They try and push him over the chalk. Just took it too far out. They're not really giving the best possible chance for Simon to find his feet in this kicking game. Keep on waiting late in the count before the kick comes. Joe Vugana right up the middle. Bad ball out. Put down by Rua. And it'll be a Warriors feed. What a bonus on the 50.
Well, things are certainly going the Warriors' way. When you have a little bit of luck, it does help. Big Joe there takes the ball up. Really shouldn't have passed that. But Melbourne go on and knock it on. It's been the story of the day for the Melbourne side.
Yes, he did. Knocked it on.
Right on the 50. Massive count against the Storm. Pretty big grave they've dug. Manuel off the far wing.
Hands off now, hands off.
Peter, what's the story on Ivan Cleary?
Ivan Cleary's got a bad gash to the inside of the mouth. He's having the last lot of stitches put in right now, and he should be back on the pitch very shortly.
Hands off. Steve.
He's the man to fill the boots of Ridge in the goal-kicking department. Needed him last time round as a ton of talent sits sideline. Few sore heads, noses, broken arms, Jones, you name it, Siu, and Odenryan as they put one down. So they're off the boil.
Have a drink break, fellas.
And Hampstead said it's not at the 20-minute mark, but that'll do us for a drink break. Storm need a break as well. They've got to come up with plenty still with just 22 remaining. 14-2. Tony, I've got to talk about John Simon. They might be smiling up there on Deeth or Death Row, the back of that eastern stand here in Auckland, but Johnny Simon just hasn't got the kicking game right in this second 40.
No, they haven't. The forwards haven't been going forward to him. He hasn't had the room or the time to sort of place his kicks. In the first half, they were spot on. In the second half, he's got the wind behind him, and I'm sure the instructions are to have a big kicking game in the second half. Keep driving Melbourne back. It hasn't worked, but I'm sure he's working on it.
Stephen Kearney was looking for a big effort to come back to New Zealand. 22 tackles, 14 hit-ups. He knows he's had to work for every blade of grass here at Ericsson. He's had some good times here with the Kiwis, not so good here with the Storm on this one in the season opener. But it is smiles for the locals who are waiting for a huge start to this season.
She's certainly enjoying it, that girl. Good on you.
Big wave up around Ericsson as Sean Hampstead waves to both captains. Let's get back to business. The Storm have got to find at least a dozen points in just under 22 minutes. Kamali can do it. They need a lot more possession and they need to hang on to it. Need to finish off their sets of 6. Rodney Howe.
It's amazing how one quick try though from the Storm can turn everything around. Warriors still have to just keep their composure in defence. Going up on that nice line that they've been using all day.
Kamali on the inside. There it is. The disease continues to spread.
Well, they have struggled to Storm side with the ball security. You've got to complete your sets of 6. You've got to hold on to that ball.
foot this time. Just get in and stand there.
Mears back to half-back for Simon to look for a runner.
Right, he's on one, hands off.
And he will finish up midfield and cops a little bit of an elbow from Kearney. Nothing said. And push back to Simon again under pressure. Not such a good ball back. And Kearney was in back play wanting to go on with Matt Spence.
He's on 3. Here we are, Melbourne.
But he knows it's time to put some starch back into the Storm. Logan Swan. Got him started nicely with a try. Lavia over the advantage line. Wonder if Simon will think long-range field goal. 1 point's important. He goes for the bomb. Storm are looking for 2 converted tries to lock it up. Thought he might have had a crack. And a knock on yet again as Chris Anderson's stats man is just about out of ink in the handling department.
Well, this is very unusual from the reigning premiers. They just haven't had a great day with the ball. 16-7 handling errors against the Storm. Just have a look at Marcus By there.
Keep yourself straight. Yeah, your foot. Your foot.
Just took his hands off it. Disappeared before he had the ball completely under control. Mears from the back of the scrum. Mears still just inside the 10. Here's their chance to really nail it. Simon. He pushes it back. Jason Deeth's already got one. They cough it up. Ball travelled forward. Graham, I think, bitterly disappointed that this wasn't a set of 6 that maybe grabbed this game even with still 19 minutes. Furious up the back.
Well, he knows it was on there. Just took the wrong option there. Jason Deeth ended up with a bit of a bad injury. Doesn't look too good.
I haven't knocked it on. I'm not surprised.
Well, he's just got back out there, Ivan Cleary. After all of those stitches. Gets onto the field for the first time for the Warriors in the year 2000, and now he's back out of here again. 1999 was a shocker for him. And he must be thinking, it's on again.
I think you could clutch your heads and just still yourself there, right?
Head clash. Took the shoulder, I think, of Kearney over the top. Probably thinks he's still back with the Roosters, the Sydney Football Stadium.
Well, in Cuckoo Land, yeah, he looks a bit dazed, doesn't he? But he's had a tremendous game out there.
Well, he's with a couple of guys that wouldn't look out of place at Bondi, Tuddy.
They certainly would. Look at them.
Kamali must be thinking, when's something going to stick for us? Can the Warriors put some pressure on here to cause another fumble? By, he's gone looking for it. Nothing's come his way. Back it comes, Russell Bowden.
This is where the Melbourne side really have to take a few chances, but the thing is that the times that they do try and push the pass, they're dropping the ball. So there's not a lot of confidence out there in this Melbourne side at the moment. They're going one out. Very easy for the Warriors to defend against.
They have had to come up a lot of the time after enormous pressure from the Warriors, and they've got the ball so many times after they've really been tired from a big effort to save their own line. You're going to see so much of that right from the start of the season, but then you see Kamali, who always reads it so well, has his eye on a fullback, comes up with a brilliant kick, turns everybody around. This is where the Warriors can't make any mistakes. Spence. Lavia just had to check himself to take this one. Simon's kick all important at the end of this set of 6. Deeth had a terrific game. Last tackle. They wait again for it. And Simon happy to milk it. Maybe slow this game down over the sideline. Anytime they can, they'll try and chew up 30 seconds. They're in possession at the end of any set of 6.
Yeah, that was a good set then from the Warriors forwards. They went in there. They're doing it real tough out there. They've used up a lot of petrol, very hot. The game's been very fast. This is a crucial time. This is where you need to dig deep, and you'll see the star players come out. Jason Deeth, he looks as though he started the game. He's fresh as a daisy all the time. He's got a huge heart on him. They're going to rely on guys like him and Simon in this last 15 minutes.
Both sides have been chopped around. Both sides have lost their fullbacks, had to reshuffle backlines. Aaron Mule. Forwards haven't found the way through up the middle. Hasn't been a great deal of success for the likes of Rodney Howe, Robbie Kearns. Kearney has tried to do a little bit of damage wider, but now he comes up the middle. Spins out of one and carries them to the halfway. Kamali inside for Bowden. Couldn't find support. This defensive line has been tough from the Warriors. Kamali again to the line. This time ducks one himself, but then a whole heap of trouble. Still managed to unload back to Hill. Hill sliding across the field, looking for a runner. Still manages to find one. Touch knocked down by the Warriors. This is it. This is where the Storm make their mark. They'll get another set of 6.
And the Auckland side are looking a little bit tired in defence. It's got to be very, very tough out there. This is where the Storm can strike.
Tuamavavi did play at this one. Two very, very tired sides, Peter.
Oh, extremely tight, but disappointing for the Storm, who have had so much success in being able to get their forwards going forward, rolling off each other. I wonder how much I miss Tawut and Nikau working on the fringes of the ruck.
Hill tries to do it from the back of this scrum. Now Evans. Crunching tackle from Leavar. 5 metres away, the Storm to really put some interest into it. Deeth, was he finished off? Now he is. Held down by Spence. Watts quick hands it. And he gives it out to Lavia. And again, this powerful defence pushes them back to the 20. Outstanding stuff. Kearney on the fringe. Kearney. He'll stand, flip it up. Bowden. Bowden tries to unload last tackle. They've got one more to hang on from against Kamali. One of the best in the business. Hill's there, and Nigel Buggener comes over. Now they just hunt in and outstanding. Brilliant stuff on Williams.
Yeah, that's great stuff from the Warriors side, you know. That's as good as scoring a try. The players will get as much out of that as scoring a try. They'll pick themselves up. They're all putting in that little extra effort. That bit that counts, but they can't afford mistakes like that.
We're on 0.
This is where you can lose it. They're in trouble. It's been a quick turnover. They were bunched. Now they have to spread. Back-to-back sets of 6 for the Storm. Toughest test of all. Hill tries to get it out for numbers for Lavia. Kearney knows this is their absolute best chance in the whole game to date.
Hands off, hands off.
Tuamavavi slows him down. Kamali. Kamali. Hands and knees, was thinking about unloading. Williams quickly for Bowden. Bowden. Right on the line. They hold him up. They're in trouble on a short side. Williams has looked on this blind side. Mears pushes across for Petherbridge. But Mule still has some space and they get a penalty instead. So now it's another set of 6. Simon wants to argue, gaining valuable seconds for a tired team. Kamali will take it back, create some space. Back to the 10 for Danny Williams. So it's still on. And yet more possession. Evans. Can they do it a third time? Just under 13 minutes. Kamali floating it outhill. That's it. It's taken a long time, but they've got together. Kamali and Hill do it. And this time it does stick to get it to 14-6.
Yes, you can see the Warriors players in defence are a little bit tired. Third set straight on their line. Beautiful pass from Kamali, spot on. Class players can do that. Hill plucked it out of the air. and opens this game right up.
Just tell Russell Bound the wipe, he's got blood.
Just sheer pressure, sheer weight of possession. And Hill on his fingertips drags it down into the gap. Terrific ball up from Kamali.
Happy with that one?
Knew his teammate, knew his 5'8" to be there waiting for that gap.
Right now, I'll tell you that penalty, did I? Happy with that?
Missed out on the finals last season. Bad shoulder injury. But they do represent just about the best in the business at half and 5'8" in the NRL. They will go head-to-head, you would think, in that comparison with the Johns boys in Newcastle. What an important goal, he's missed it. That gives real cushion to the Warriors as the Storm don't get the extra 2. It stays 8-point gap. Johnny Simon with a long, slow wander. Back to halfway for this restart. Anxious looks all round, still from the Storm.
Right, fellas,
Down to the last 11 minutes.
Wait, Joey.
But it is still a mile of time. And is that try enough to spark up the Storm?
Well, it's amazing what a try does with a team, how it gives you so much more confidence. If you're feeling tired, you get that little bit of extra energy as Cleary's gone in again and been knocked out cold.
Is it Cleary that's got back out there? Can you believe it? He has put his head in the wrong place. Just got his head in the wrong position, right in front instead of to one side, and he is out. Knocked out.
You've got to be very careful as a tackler going in like that and putting your head in the wrong place. Very strong on the hips. He certainly won't be coming back from this one. That's a shame to see on his first game for the Warriors. He'd be trying to impress. He's had a fantastic start for the public here. The crowd appreciate him. They'll be feeling very sorry for him.
It's been about the third time the crowd have been concerned for him. And this time he won't be back. Puts real pressure on Mark Graham going down towards the last 10 minutes. A bench that's had to work overtime. But this is a long, long break, if anything, to aid the Warriors.
Yeah, I think it does, because the Storm are on a bit of a roll. They've just scored a try. They were looking to really go hot on attack. And when you score a try like that, you seem to pump up with intensity and you sort of lose that feeling of being so tired. This will certainly help the Auckland side. They can just regain their composure. It's not good for Ivan Cleary, but the players can certainly suck it in. And
most important signing of the season for the Warriors. Brilliant goal kicker. Versatility in the back line to cover so many positions.
if it is just concussion, it's not so bad. You can recover from that. I just hope there's nothing wrong with his neck.
Huey McGann down sideline, the football manager of the Warriors, just checking with Mark Graham upstairs. So much care shown by the trainers. One of the toughest men in the game to tackle head on, Marcus Bai. Cleary just with that brace on to check against all precautions for that. (14-6), still time as Cleary departs. Evans. Warriors defense has been outstanding. It's still got to stay that way with 10 minutes on the clock. Kamali to the line for Russell. Bowden now to the outside for Mule. Mule's inside. He had Guy, couldn't get it to him. But they are starting to come back to life, the Storm. Is it going to be in time? High tackle from Spence. Last tackle now. And they're back inside the Warriors 20. Hill to the in goal. Recovered nicely by Jason Deeth, but all of a sudden, in front of the Kiwi Prime Minister, Helen Clark, the Storm, though, are serving out a warning. They can do what they did in the grand final, Pete.
And that's all we need, Big Joe doing barnstorming runs like that. It certainly fires up the rest of the players. They just need to get a good kick in now.
Simon. They're going to be tired. The chase is going to be difficult after having to hang on at the other end. Guy to take on Petherbridge. And with support, Watts. Bit of a broken line on the chase, but importantly, Logan Swan grabs his man. Inside the last 10 now. Well and truly now for Bai to come off his far wing.
L2, let him go to hands off. Here we are, Auckland.
8 points break to the Warriors. But they are struggling down the straight.
Hands off, hands off.
I suppose the big buffers, they've got that 2 points, though.
On the inside, line ball. This pass back to Lavia.
Here we are, fellas.
Kamali. Kamali, well and truly in behind the line. Popping it over the top. Ball travels backwards, last tackle. Hill to take over. Hill to kick. And Beverly is there, has to play at it. Beverly back confidently. Petherbridge. What a play. Petherbridge. He just has to stay away from the sideline. What a play from Beverly. And Petherbridge loses it again. Incredibly, as he did after half-time, coughs it up once more. The Storm will have possession yet again.
He lost it.
Well, I'll tell you, this is all a bit too much for me. That passing behind the goal line. Petherbridge loses the ball on the first tackle. I just wonder how many grey hairs Mark Graham has got in the last 5 minutes. Look at that. It worked for them, though. Great stuff. If you're confident enough to do it, well, why not?
Terrific tackle from Rua. And now Kamali comes back. Finish post seems a long, long way away for the Warriors. Martin getting outside Miles, sliding with the ball and by. Chase to the midfield. He gets it up for Matt Rua. He's chased. Plenty of determination. No, he gets away. Bit of feeling edging into it as well as Nigel Vagana stands over him. Best part of this game remaining yet as Melbourne find their timing. Evans tried to get one round the back and Joe Vagana rolls him over. Kamali, there is danger everywhere. Kearns, they're unloading. Kamali for Hill. Pushed back up the middle by Nigel Vagana. They cough it up. He said there's a Warrior hand in there. He was right on the spot. So more possession again. Even the mascots are on edge.
Well, I'd like to see that again. Not that, the play. Does a Warriors player knock it on? A few players down with cramp.
Now, from Hill, back on the inside, off the fingertips, was it of Spence?
Oh, that's a big call from the referee. A very important one. Let's just see if a Warriors player did touch that. Well, I think he may have.
He was on the spot. And they're going to have to hang on yet again.
And that ref's having an absolute blinder. I know the crowd thought like I did that his hand was nowhere near it, but the TV doesn't lie, Graham, does it?
Why would I think you thought that? Logan Swan to the bench, which forces Coxon out there, one of the walking wounded, all strapped up with a cut. So the Storm still left thinking, have they left it too late? Getting towards the last 6. Lavia across the paddock. Was there a fumble in there? Looked as though he coughed it up. The Warriors screamed at it. Hill. What an important call that was. Rua nearly there. The Warriors right back to their own line. Joe Buckenhau's got it. He's been ruled offside. He looked to get a big head start on that, and it's still rolled up, held over. It'll go back for a scrum. It'll still be the Storm's possession. This eats up time, but the Warriors are just about out on their feet.
And that's exactly what Kumuli wants, is a scrum in the middle there.
He was offside, Big Joe. Grabbed a step head start. If he wasn't, he should be at Homebush for the Olympics around September. Once again, still with possession. Aaron Newell back on the inside. They are stretched to capacity. Kearns, he's still denied. Character into defence. Kamali gets it up for Marquette. Can they deny Kamali, who just seems to have it on a string this close to the line now? Floated yet again. Kearney's wrapped up. Watts puts it down. Remarkable. It's standing ovation stuff at Ericsson as this crowd, around 21,000, warm up to the number of times that they've held on against the Storm.
And it's tough to defend your own line like that with players attacking. The Warriors are playing with pure heart out there, and it comes from their number one, the coach. He's taught them something in the last 7 or 8 weeks.
Well, Peter Rapati, not too often, previous seasons, has defence won it for the Warriors. A different side, different organisation.
After 80 minutes, without question, we've seen an outstanding defensive display by the side. And the one thing the crowd is acknowledging lately is the character of this football side, prepared to stay in for 80 minutes and tough it out.
No doubt about it. The crowd's not going to like it, but Deep push this ball forward. They're going to invite them back again. He can't believe it.
Yeah, Jason, they're just pushing that pass. Big Joe overrunning, but the Storm can't break this defence. It's an outstanding effort from the Warriors side.
Mark Graham knows it's not gone. 3 and a bit minutes, but this is the set of 6 that puts them back with a chance. 8 points still at 14-6 to the Warriors, but it is not gone yet. They just have to shut them down one more time, then control it for a set of 6, and then time will be gone. CEO Trevor McEwen thinking about the nails. Maybe this is it. Deeth's got it, and he hangs on to it. He had Nigel Buckenhau unmarked, wanted to screen for it. But he was thinking, on the back of the mind, he was thinking about the last pass. Petherbridge.
Well, Jason Deeth has had an outstanding, superb game out there. He's one of the star players. A lot of pressure on him to perform week in and week out. But there's one guy you can count on, that's Jason Deeth. When you need something special, he'll always pull it out of the bag.
Plenty of running from dummy half, but they've got to think about the kick. Even at 2 minutes and 20 seconds, Simon still needs a good kick down deep and a chase. Beverly, even out over the sideline, eat up some more time. Simon is on the shorter side, screaming for it. Tuamabavi to give protection. Sideline might do him. Down towards the pocket, breaks back towards Watts. Tuamabavi. Now they'll lift inside the last 2. The Storm back in their own 20. Gaia. For this short passage in the second 40, the passes have stuck for Melbourne, but their hands have let them down time and time again. That has put them on death row. Kearns with a good ball. Mears. All they have to do is hang on and finish off a remarkable upset. Beaten. Mears to stay at dummy half as this crowd just yells for more. Mears loses it. Cairns has got it, but only a metre out from his own line. They got about 60 seconds. Game is gone now. The Warriors found some reserves just when they needed it.
Yeah, little Mears, he's had a tremendous game, hasn't he? Darting out of dummy half, so strong when he runs. Fantastic effort by the whole side.
Kearney back on his homeland with a loss. Bye puts it down. The Warriors will finish with it in the last 30 seconds. They'll have the scrum feed just to wrap it up. This crowd getting on their feet to sing it home this last 30 seconds. It's going to be some party in Auckland tonight.
It's been the story of the day for the Melbourne side. Ball security.
There was concerns about their bench. No Ali Lauatiti, no Terry Hermanson. Suggestions the coach had laid down the law, some discipline in the ranks. And guess what? He's right. Who's got it? Who finishes it off? The Storm defending goal. But the year of 2000, a brand new millennium, and a side who has caused the major upset of 1990, of the year 2000. They finished off 1999 the right way. 8-point gap in it, 3 tries to 1. Brilliant start for them. But it's going to be grand final day every weekend in this 14-team competition.